Good morning to every single forex trader out there. So let's start this week off. Let's go on the dollar. On the weekly chart, everything is still very much bearish. Um, I can't help but notice that the previous weekly candle closed a little weak, like it had some bullish momentum to give us the next week. And so, with that being said, I expect price to come up here when it comes to the dollar. And yes, it's going to be out of this trend line, but at the end of the day, trend lines is not structure, so structure will always prevail. And I was reminded of that when I made some rash decisions when price started to break out of this trend line, just to close back into it. So, and remember, I think it was on the last trading video that I was saying how like we have a level of resistance and we broke it with all of these candles just to potentially start to make some higher highs, higher lows. Okay, alrighty. All right, right there. So we created a double bottom on the 4 hour and then continued bullish. Same thing here. So at the moment, the trend on like the intraday time frame, I'd say like 4 hour, right? Because this is the 4 hour time frame. It is currently making higher highs and higher lows. So I would be comfortable with taking US dollar trades once I see a 4 hour double top like close strong. Because the thing is, like, the only thing that can stop this is price slowing down. Because, okay, so right now, this is us. All right, and this is us right now. The only thing that can stop it is a chart pattern. So that's a double top, and I'm gonna want to see that on the 4 hour. So let me just put that. All right, so either I wait for a 4 hour double top or I wait for price to come up to this level and then show me something even on the 1 hour. Because if it shows me something even on the 1 hour, I'll go ahead and take it. Take it as in, okay, for the other US dollar pairs, I think price is ready to do what it wants. But yeah, I definitely believe that this could just, and then from here is when I want to take my trade. That's what I'm looking for. Like, like the 4 hour wasn't currently bearish, I wouldn't be thinking that. But if, again, if it shows me a double top on the 4 hour when it's still here, I have enough reason to believe that there's going to be a little trend reversal because the daily is still maintaining lower highs, right? So with gold, this sometime this week I do expect for price to fall into this level of liquidity and for me to get into some buys. So this is based off of this point A to point B. And then you see that we touched the 50% zone, so it might be a good time to buy regardless. But if it can come to here, then we'll be working with some more confluence, which is something I would appreciate. Um, and then you can also see that we're on this trend line, so that's pretty. That's nice. See, because this is based off of, I believe, this is how thing line right here. Hold on. Because if we can hit this level, oh, oh, what a mighty time it would be. Let me also put 50% of mega fib. Yes, how can I help you? Yes. He wants attention. For GU, I have a bullish fib on where you have tapped this Willis zone a few times. Go away. Pretty much all I'm looking for is for price to fall back into this region and then give me more breaks of resistances. I think the time frame it would be most effective on is to see it on the 4 hour or even the daily. Like if I got a daily double bottom, I'm all right there. Because that's exactly how it decided to turn around and give us the daily double top. So probably watching for a daily double bottom would do us justice. But I do believe in some GU buys for sometime this week. Then for GJ, yes, because no, swing low to swing high, it taps into this 50% level. I ended up buying and then exited because I think I was in a lot of trades at the same time and I was just overwhelmed that I didn't need to be in that many trades. So I exited and that was silly. But it's also something that made me have to think over like my entry signals because for example, this technically wasn't with the 4 hour flow right here. It was actually, you know what? No, it was because it was respecting support after this bullish candle. So, oh yeah, this was a really good trade that I did let it go. However, if price can come back to this level sometime this week, I would be just as interested, right? And if it doesn't give me a nice double top or double bottom or something right here, I can wait for it to come back down here. Otherwise, it's, a trade that's moving on, and that's cool. For UJ, tricky UJ is giving me signs of a bullish reversal on the weekly without breaking. But I have to say, my bias will remain bearish until we can break these highs. So if I can see a double top after we touch this 50% level on the 4 hour, I will be very interested. Doesn't look like it's gonna happen today. Turn. Right, but the thing is that it gets to this level. If it gets here, even better because it's the level of liquidity and it's confluence that I do require. So yeah, I'm just keeping an eye out for this because it is in a pretty good level. But if it comes up here, even better for sells. UCAD, it looks like today could be really, really good. But we'll just have to because I put this fib based off of this leg right here. Um, there's a potential that UCAD could fall. But what I would need to see, since we kept respecting around here, it's kind of giving higher highs and higher lows right now. But I think I think H1 double top might be enough because even if it doesn't push it past here, I think it could at least push it to this level if we were to give a double top, but we'd have to come back up and it would have to be after 9:30. So there's certain parameters that would still have to be met, but there's a possibility that we could continue to sell off. And I like this to use against GJ. It's actually really, really good correlation because the day that it was at a really, really good level, what did we do? The 4 hours started going back with the bearish flow. Okay, so a level of support here, two bearish candles here, lower highs created. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. But the newest 30 is not really doing anything that is interesting to me. So the main ones, the main ones I'm looking out for today is who is that? Uh, gold. potentially, GU potentially, but it all depends on how it's acting after 9:30, right? So we'll just see. And there's no news for today, so yeah, happy trading, y'all.